So, in the first reading from the Acts of the Apostles today, we hear St. Paul telling the whole congregation salvation history, how God had worked through the people of Israel, how he had delivered them from slavery in Egypt, how he had chosen King Saul, King David, and through the prophet continued to call them back to himself. And today, the good Lord tells his very own disciples after he had washed their feet that he understands that not all of them will be faithful to him, and he know. But that didn't deter him, right? Because he said, I am telling you all these things before it happened, so that when it happened, you may believe that I am. The interesting word in there is that capitalized I, capitalized AM, meaning that that's the same word that Yahweh revealed himself through the burning bush. Jesus at that moment is telling his disciples that he is the same God who know everything, but yet never ever stop giving himself even when his people turn away from him, even when his people rejected him, abandoned him, ignored him, and didn't recognize him. But what more important that he said that, Amen, I say to you, whoever receives the one I send receives me, and whoever receives me receives the one who sent me. So that in the midst of everything, just like throughout salvation history, even when the people, his chosen people, rejected him, God never abandoned his people. He sent prophets, he sent people to be his instrument of conversion, to call us back to himself. So now we, the same one, being commissioned by the good Lord to be sent out. And he said, whoever receives you receives me. So we must ask ourselves, will we become instruments of conversion and the instrument that call people back to God or not? How are we in our very own life become instrumental in that way? And I'll end the homily by reminding you and I the collect or the opening prayer for today, where the church reminds us that, O God, who restore human nature to yet greater dignity than its beginning, look upon the amazing mystery of your loving kindness, and in those you have chosen to make new, to the wonder of rebirth, may you reserve the gifts of your enduring grace and blessing. The word here is wonderful. God who has restored us to yet a greater dignity than its beginning. What did the church mean by that? At Easter, we call original sin a happy fault. We don't know all the what if thing. What if Adam and Eve never sinned? What if Adam and Eve never eaten the forbidden fruit? What if all these things would never happen? How would God reveal himself to us? We don't know. But we know that fault happened. But it become now a happy fault, because through that means God never abandoned us. That God used that broken beginning to bring us the greater good, to restore human nature to yet a greater dignity than what we would never imagine or known before. So how are we who have been rebirthed or reborn through the waters of baptism reserve the gift of his enduring grace and his blessing for us, so that we become instrumental in bringing others to him?